BlitzTalkTV. It is now time for our free agency all-season grade so far. Y'all already know how we do, man. We're going to go each team. There were some big moves, some under the radar moves. We're going to go through all of them for each team and then give our grade for each one for each team.
Holding all
Relic.
y'all accountable.
Oh,
All
we
y'all. Even the
definitely, yeah,
ones that
we
ain't do
definitely.
nothing.
Yeah, no, some of you made some terrible moves and you will be called out on it for sure. Relic, are you ready, my brother?
Yes, sir.
We're going to start with the Buffalo Bills. We'll start with the DJ Moore trade. For
Mm.
all of you that have been living under a rock, or maybe you got other obligations, we here at Blitz Talk gonna make sure we you hear it here first. You haven't heard it yet. DJ Moore is no longer a Chicago Bear. He's a Buffalo Bill now. Now the trade was a second round pick for DJ Moore. We'll grade that first before we actually give the Bills their grade overall. Relic, what did you give that grade?
So in terms of DJ Moore,
Just
that
DJ Moore.
for that capital, B plus for sure. B plus.
So I'm gonna give it a B as well because once again, Blitz Talk, don't always look at the draft pick. Look at what the player means to the team. Just like I didn't think it was too much for the Waddle trade because of what the Broncos needed. Just like I didn't think it was too much for the Max Crosby trade for what the Ravens needed. The Bills needed something that was close to a number one receiver. Brandon Cooks, Keon Coleman, Curtis Samuel, Your tight ends come and go. DJ Moore has been a consistent receiver his whole career. I don't really care what happened last year with him and the Bears. I still think with Josh Allen, he will get most of, if not all of, the targets that he needs. I thought he was a little under targeted with Chicago.
He is going to flourish.
Yeah, and once again, we have to remember Joe Brady is now over there. And Relic, we remember where Joe Brady was originally.
Hey man, you don't want to get me started, unless you want me to start.
He
But,
look,
but
he knows DJ Moore. Let's get it. Let's just say that he knows DJ Moore.
mm-hmm.
So I like that move a lot. I give it a B. We're gonna also talk about the other things they did. They signed Bradley Chubb to a 3-year, $43.5 million, $29 million guaranteed. Signed him to that. They
Great
signed
deal.
they signed CGJ Gardner Johnson. Signed him as well. And also they gave Dawson Knox a new 3-year deal as well. Those were the big moves. There were some other ones as well. They re-signed Connor McGovern, their center, which is always good to make sure your O-line is signed. And they also re-signed Tyler Bass for another year for all you fantasy owners who had Tyler Bass last year. With that being said, really, what do you give the Buffalo Bills for their all-season grade so far?
So I give them a B minus. Still very very early. I expect them to go after some O linemen, especially in the draft. Losing Dave Edwards, I feel is going to hurt a lot. That he's definitely a top 10 guard, especially if you go by advanced metrics. So that's the only thing that I kind of dock them for. But everything else I really really like, especially the picking up CD Gardner Johnson for sure. Pretty much every team he goes to, he makes a great impact. He improves the defense, also a locker room personality. Yeah, pretty good leadership. The DJ Moore trade, I mean, we already discussed that. I mean, we saw what he did to Stephon Diggs' career, you know. So I really, really like their offseason so far.
I'm right around there as well. I give it a B overall. I like what they did. I think also adding Bradley Chubb was not a bad move. I think the DJ Moore trade is what makes it a B for me. I think they got great value with him because
Great
I still
value.
think DJ Moore is number one. So I know he
Very
had a down
underrated.
season. I know he had a down season, but this dude's produced no matter who's the quarterback. So once again, I really like their all season. I give it a B. Moving on to the Dolphins, who are more known now for who they've let go of, which is Tua, Waddle, Tyreek, and somehow Achane's still there. Someone please free him. Their big signing was signing Malik Willis to a 3 year, $67.5 million deal, 45 million guaranteed. They also signed Tutu Atwell to a 1 year deal. Jalen Tolbert they signed. Greg Dulcich they signed as well. This all season is just it's enough. It's just enough. They have like $191 million in dead cap space. They signed Malik Willis and then immediately got rid of the only target that was going to be who he was throwing to. So they basically sabotaged the quarterback that you just gave almost $50 million guaranteed to. I hate this all season. It gets a fart. That's what it gets.
Yeah, it's a dumpster fire that's gotten worse. So I give them a D plus.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it much more. Just fart on it. The New England Patriots. They signed Romeo Dobbs to a 4 year, $70 million deal. Draymond Jones to a 3 year, $39.5 million year. Excuse me. Ooh. 3 year, $39.5 million deal. $14 million in year one. Kevin Byard, 1 year, $9 million deal.
Fire,
And Vera Tucker, 3 year, $42 million deal with $21 million guaranteed.
fire.
Solid moves, very solid moves. I think Dodds was a little bit of an overpaid, just a
Oh
little
yeah,
bit.
they for sure overpaid Dobbs.
But once again, maybe to pry him from the Packers, you had to do that. I think he is somebody that we have not seen his full upside, and him next to Butte, I think you could see that possibly. I don't know if he's a number one, but we'll see. He is still pretty young. I like the Draymond Jones move. That just makes their interior and outside linemen just even better. I mean, their front seven is scary. And I like Byard on a 1 year deal. Solid vet, someone who with Mike Brable will you definitely get the most out of. And O line, Vera Tucker, never go wrong with that. Overall, I give this a B minus. This is a B minus all season. I just think I would have gave it a B plus if they didn't give Dobbs as much money. I think it's a little bit of an overpay. But this is a solid all season. I give it a B minus so far.
So even though the additions that I do like, the Draymond Jones, I think that's a fire addition. Kevin Bayard, for sure, fire addition. And Vera Tucker, definitely great addition. Now I'm going to give this a C plus for the fact that you lose Caleb Chase on after the great playoffs that he just gave you. And I mean, it's still early. You know, you could probably address that in the draft. But if you're going after Draymond Jones, why wouldn't you pick up Caleb Chase on at that point? After he's pretty much having an ascending career at this point, even though he had the slow start with the Jags, who wouldn't? But yeah, I just don't see I don't see the logic behind that. So that's where I'll be docking them. And then also the overpay of Romeo Dobbs. Romeo Dobbs hasn't had 1,000-yard season yet. Where is this coming from? What type of you know what? Let me look up who his agent is, because he might have Kirk Cousins' agent. He might have him, because I don't. What type of masterful negotiating?
He got for sure. I was pretty shocked that he got that money.
What type of masterful negotiating is going on?
That was a little bit much. I ain't gonna front. That was a little bit much.
But I do like Romeo Dobbs though as a receiver, and now not being on the, well, I won't say the Packers wide receiving core was stacked, but it was just
he had to face a lot of
it's
guys
oversaturated that were
it was
full of wide receivers at the same level pretty much.
Yeah, it was a lot of guys who all were kind of auditioning for the same role. Like, he had 3 other guys on that team who they were looking at possibly as the number one. So, you know.
I see it, like, because even whenever you watch the Packers play, you it's hard to predict who's gonna go off. Jaden Reed goes off one game, and then Romeo Dobbs goes off one game.
Then Tucker Crabb
goes off one. So
it's hard to. It was a crowded room, and that might be why Dobbs left. He might just want an opportunity, to be honest. He just might want an opportunity, and he's gonna get it with the Patriots, because they don't have a lot of free agency options. Not free agency. They don't have a lot of receiver options, so he'll get his opportunity for sure now. So but it definitely was an overpay for sure.
Yeah, I like the move. Just don't like the capital spent.
I
And
like
then
the I like the position. I don't like the contract or the player. If you're gonna give 4 years, 70 million, you should have went out and got AJ Brown or got a Waddle or something like that. Someone who's guaranteed.
or poach somebody. Go
Yeah,
get T Higgins.
Dobbs is not a guarantee, so I don't know.
Like go get T Higgins. Like
Yeah, or someone like that. Someone who we already know what he is. So moving on to the Jets, we're gonna make this real short. They traded for Geno Smith. Okay. You franchise tag Brees Hall. We knew that was gonna happen. You got Jelani Woods, Dylan Parham, Joseph Assad.
I'm not gonna lie though. I'm not gonna lie. While you're going
They
through this,
traded for Travan.
okay, I'm gonna give an early grade.
Sweater.
I'm gonna give an early grade. I got them at a B minus, just off of what's available to them, who they are, and who they probably had to settle for. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people that they did go after, because they had a lot of capital to go after some people, and whatever they got, I think it's really good, especially Davon Yamada, Demario Davis, Minka Fitzpatrick, Devondre Sweat. Like these are producing players. These are all Pro Bowl caliber players. And then you retain Brees Hall. Honestly, I wanted somebody to rescue him. I'm not gonna lie to you, but smart for the Jets. They have something that they can build off on, and hopefully Aaron Glenn can capitalize. So that's my grade. Hey, wake up, man.
Sorry, let's talk. I fell asleep. I was looking at the list of what the Jets signed, and it made my eyes close, and it made my. I just couldn't be bothered to care. I just. Why did they trade for Minka Fitzpatrick? Why did they do that?
Because they need secondary help.
They need Minka Fitzpatrick. That's what they needed.
They need anybody. What do you mean?
Wait. So you're gonna pay him an extension and trade capital, even though this is a 7th-round pick still, for Minka Fitz. I like Minka in general, but he needs to be on a contender, not a bad team. He's gonna get exposed because he's on a bad team. He's not the same player anymore. Let's just start with that. You signed Demario.
Whoa. Hey, watch your mouth. What are you about to say? Hey,
You sign a bunch of vets that need to be on good teams, not on. This team is going to be bad. They're going to win 3 games. This team's winning 3 freaking games. Miss me with the Geno Smith stuff right now. He looked awful last year.
I mean, everyone was gonna look awful. Did you not see their O line?
But guess what? The Jets are probably going to be worse than the Raiders this year. That's the sad part. They're probably going to be worse.
They're not worse than the Raiders, man.
They're going to be worse than the Raiders this year. We can make a bet on that. They're going to be worse. They're going to be worse.
It's a lot. It's a lot of veterans here, man. I don't see them being worse.
There are also a lot of old people on this team now.
Yeah,
Mario
it's
Davis,
it's
as good as
vets.
he is also older. And when you're on a bad team, all of a sudden certain injuries just start to flare up. Like, ooh, my hamstring, it ain't looking so great this year. When we 2-7, oh, my hamstring ain't feeling the best this week. I might sit it out. I'm telling you, this is a 3-win team. I'm not even about to be bothered with it. The grade is a fart. That's what it is. It's a fart. I hate this all season. I hate it. Why are we spinning the wheel on Geno Smith again? You could have just went and got Kirk Cousins or something. Or
He's
went
strong.
You
Granted,
could have went and signed Malik Willis and got a better quarterback. Geno Smith looked awful last year. And I don't think that's going to change.
He
I don't
struggled.
think it's going to change. I don't think it's going to change.
He struggled for sure. But that
No, he didn't
offensive line
struggle. He was
was
bad.
horrible.
Struggle
Was
is a nice way of putting it. He was bad last year.
everybody looked bad behind that
But
offensive
I
line.
don't think the Jets are that much better than that Raiders roster from last year. I really don't.
They had Genty looking bad behind that offensive line.
I get it, but guess what? I still don't think the Jets are all that good. They're just not. These are names. They're nice names, but
They're better in
Minka
spots.
Fitzpatrick is going to have to cover for that whole secondary. He cannot be in three places at one time.
So these additions that they added are better. Are definitely better than the Raiders last year. Definitely better.
I'm falling asleep even hearing this right now. Let's move on, man. I can't be bothered with this. They're a 3-win team. I don't care.
Man, they're going to win more than 3, bro.
Baltimore Ravens. Obviously, we talked about
The crooks.
Yeah, we talked about Trey Hendrickson.
The robbers. The scoundrels.
Yeah, they pulled it. Yeah. That was a nice Houdini they pulled. John Simpson to a 3-year, $30 million deal. I like him as an O-lineman. They still need to go get a tight end. They let Likely go. They let some people go. I'm not gonna lie. With all this that happened, I can't give this all season gets like a C- right now. It seems incomplete, but at least they got a pass rush. But now their O line's worse. They let Likely go. I don't know, man. It's a C- for me. What you got, really?
They get a very low grade from me. So I'm going to go C plus. Well, it's not very, very low, but it's low in terms of the franchise that they are. No, but in terms of the franchise that they are, it should be a lot higher. I don't feel, even with the Trey Hendrickson signing, that they got better at all. They lost out on the top 3 center in the league after Lamar Jackson went through one of the most injured seasons that he's had. You lose Isaiah Likely, who's the ascending tight end out of your tight end group.
Andrews and me.
Yes, and Mark Andrews isn't the same player anymore. You're not going to get him. You lose Dramont Jones. You lose Keaton Mitchell, who was a very promising. Yeah, I don't see.
You're making me want to make it a D now.
No, I don't see what the direction is here.
Because of the Hendrickson thing, giving him a C-, but you're making me want to drop it to a D+.
No, the Hendrickson, and the
really
Simpson
like
pickups.
They poached him from the Bengals. That's kind of why I really like it. I always love moves where
the Bengals are gonna suck anyway.
But now they're gonna suck worse because they don't have Trey Hendrickson.
Oh, they're gonna be a dumpster fire. I can't wait till we reach them. But
they're actually next.
Oh, great, perfect. But yeah, like I can't give them anything above a C. I just can't. And you lose all these quality players and nothing in return. Pretty much nothing in return. It's still early and cool depending on the draft. That's fine. But you gotta hit on these picks.
They're gonna have to hit the draft.
They're gonna have to hit on these picks, and then you have a first time NFL head coach now. Like, what are you going to do to help him? I hope he has some say.
That's another reason why that Max Crosby thing is yeah. But
so I hope you have
that. We already talked about it, so I won't get into it.
Yeah, I hope you have a plan. I hope you have direction for this because I don't see it. That Tyler Lindenbaugh letting him go is crazy to me. Absolutely insane.
Well, from one not so impressive all season to another, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Kings of not spending any money. They signed Boyan.
They get an I for incomplete.
They signed Jonathan Allen and Boyan Mafe both to their defensive line. I like the Jonathan Allen for the value, a 2-year, $26 million. They signed Brian Cook to a 3-year, $40 million deal. They re-signed, got back Orlando Brown Jr. for a 2-year, $32 extension. They're all season just because they didn't address anything that they actually needed and because they still cannot protect Joe Burrow. It gets an F because you are literally destroying your franchise's best quarterback ever because you won't protect him. We're bringing back Orlando Brown. We're going to do that again? All right. All right. Well, we're not gonna replace Trey Hendrickson, who only led the league in sacks for 3 years. I guess. So it gets an F. It gets a fart. What do you give it?
F. F, bro. Actually, a I for incomplete.
No, the I can be for incompetent. We can just say that.
And that too.
I for incompetent.
It's nothing here. Like you choose the running back, you choose to bring back your coach that's incompetent also.
Actually, matter of fact, it gets an I now because they did bring back the coach. That now gets an I for sure.
What are we doing different? And now you're Trey Hendrickson less. What are we doing?
And we're replacing him with Jonathan Allen and Boye Mafe. I'm sorry, I just don't.
It's not it's nowhere near
those
enough.
Two for a combined almost $80 million. You could have just paid. All right, man. Let's get.
Yep. The O line still sucks. All it is the Joe Burrow show with Jamar Chase and Higgins and Chase Brown. That's
it. You try Brian Cook. You could have literally packaged the money you gave Cook, Allen, and Mafe, and literally just paid Trey Henderson. They're idiots. They're idiots.
The defense is going to be terrible.
Their grade is an I for idiots. That's what their grade now is.
The defense is still going to be terrible. Secondary still is going to suck, and now you don't have a pass rush at all.
Their grade is I for idiots. That's what their grade is. I for idiots.
Yes, let's move on.
The Cleveland Browns. I don't love their all season either. I'm not going to front. They signed Quincy Williams to a 2-year deal, and Njoku left. They got Jenkins they could sign Elgin, the O lineman, Jenkins to a 2-year, $24 million. I did think that was a solid move. They signed offensive guard Zion Johnson to a 3-year, $50 million deal. They went heavy O line. They got Titus Howard in the trade with the Texans.
I mean, they had to because they were set to lose everybody on their O line.
I don't love.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this.
I don't love the people they spent the money on. Like
I'm gonna tell you this. It's a very boring offseason, but this is what they had to do. they had to do this.
Losing Njoku. I still don't love the receiving core all that much. I don't love the defense outside of the couple of players, Ward, Garrett. Like yes, they did get some O linemen, but all these O linemen, like elite level O linemen, no. You paid them. You're paying Zion Johnson 3 years, $50 million, slight overpay to me. Jenkins 2 year, 24. I think that's good value, but I don't know. They get a C for me because at least they tried to attack what they needed to attack, which was the O line. So I'll give them a C. It's not as bad. It's not as bad as I'm saying. I'll give it a C. Because if Titus Howard works out at offensive tackle, then that's definitely a big thing. But I mean, there's a reason why the Texans, who were having some trouble protecting C.J. Stroud last year, just gave him up. So I don't know. And you signed him to a 3-year, $63 million extension. He better be good.
I mean, he was far from the issue on that O line. It's just that
I know, but I'm just wondering why Houston would trade him. Their O line wasn't that great last year, so I don't know.
But I mean that's just as a whole type thing.
Yeah.
But
I mean, some people might blame C.J. Stroud. Who knows? Some people didn't think it was all the O line's fault. Some people thought it was C.J. Stroud, but we'll see this year for sure. But yeah, I'll give the Browns like a C because at least they tried to attack the O line. What do you give it?
I am definitely going to give them a C minus. I just love the fact that the only thing I love about this is that they went after their immediate needs, which was O line. So I'm glad they did that. It's just a very boring offseason to me. You lose Devin Bush, which is, I don't know, losing a player like that, a veteran, and also somebody that knows the system. What's going to happen now? We're going to depend on the draft for receivers and linebackers. I don't know. I don't see the feasibility in that. So far, I'm going to go C minus.
Pittsburgh Steelers. They had an interesting offseason. They signed Rico Dow, 2 years, $12 million. They traded for Michael Pittman in exchange for a 6th-round pick and signed him to a 3-year, $60 million deal. They signed Cameron Hayward to a new $32 million 2-year deal. They signed Sebastian Joseph Day, D lineman, for a 2-year deal. They got Jamel Dean in a solid move to me for a 3-year, $36
Great
million
move.
deal. They also signed Darnell Savage at safety, Brisker at safety, and Asante Samuel Jr. at corner. Reading these names after seeing the whole thing now, I give it a B. Now there's a question at quarterback, which they didn't solve, and I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is the answer. And that's me as a person who likes Aaron Rodgers saying that. And I also didn't love the Mike McCarthy signing either, but that's another issue. The moves they made, you got Pittman kind of undervalued to me to be next to DK. I like him as a number two next to DK. You did get Sebastian Joseph Day next to Hayward now to take some pressure off of Hayward. I like Jamel Dean with Asante Samuel Jr. Now with Jalen Ramsey, with Darnell Savage and Brisker. DBs might be a little bit, at least depth wise. I want to know about the talent, but I do like Jamel Dean for sure. And Joey Porter Jr. coming back as well. I like these moves. I would give Pittsburgh a B. This is a solid all season. And Rico Dow, you now got the 1-2 punch with him and Warren. I like this. This is a B. This is now looking at this, especially if Washington comes back healthy at tight end with Freiermuth. I like this. This is a B. This is a B for me. What do you got, really?
Yeah, I'm gonna go B also. Just looking at the roster last year and looking at it now with the additions, they got better. And that's the big thing that you want to see with these teams in the offseason. The Michael Pittman trade, I like the value that they got for him. 1,000-yard receiver, wide receiver one. That pretty much he struggled a little bit last year with the emergence
Him and
of
Daniel
Alec
Jones did
Pierce.
not seem to be on the same page.
Yeah, once the second half of the season started, he went missing. And as a Michael Pittman fantasy owner, I hated it. But with the emergence of Alec Pierce, I mean, gift and a curse at the same time. And they did right by him by sending him to this current Steelers team. Definitely an upgrade at running back with Rico Dowdle instead of Kenneth Gainwell. I love that move.
Gainwell was balling last year in the passing game though, but I think Warren showed a lot in the running game, but now you don't have to overuse him. So I like the 1-2 punch for sure.
Yes. And Jamel Dean.
Solid
I'm glad he's out the NFC South.
Yeah, solid signing. And I like the fact that they have him with Samuel Jr. and Joey Porter Jr. And you give Ramsey some help with Brisker and Savage at safety, so he doesn't have to be out there on an island all by his lonesome anymore. I like their all season. I like it. Reading it now, I like it. I like it for sure.
Yeah, it's been
Still
really
got
good.
some holes to fill, but I like what they did. Moving on to the AFC South, we got the Houston Texans. Big move they did, trading for David Montgomery, 4th-round pick and a 7th-round pick. Foster Monroe, tight end. They also re-signed Dalton Schultz. They signed Evan Brown, offensive tackle. They re-signed Trent Brown on a 1-year deal. They signed Braden Smith to a 2-year deal for $25 million. I thought that was solid. Re-signed Ed Ingram. They signed Wyatt Teller, which I thought was a solid move. 2 years, $16 million. Of course, they signed the dog himself, Danielle Hunter. This dude is getting 1 year, $40 million.
He deserves every
He
single
deserves
penny.
every freaking penny. That guy is a dog. I'm telling you. You ever watched Danielle Hunter play, please go watch the tape. He is a terror for an offensive tackle. He really is.
Good in the run game and pass game.
He's a dog. That's another word. King Corso. That's what he is. Big dog. They signed Reed Blankenship to a 3-year, $24 million deal. I like that. They made Fairbairn the highest paid kicker in the NFL, a 2-year, $13 million extension. They also signed Sheldon Rankins back to the team as well.
Great resign.
I'm going to give the Texans a B-. I think they filled some holes. I wish they would have gotten a receiver, though. I still think they're a little, that's one place I think they need to get better, especially with Nico not always being healthy. But they might address that in the draft. We'll see. But I like the moves they mostly did. I like the Wyatt Teller. That's high upside if he's back to his old self. Braden Smith, if he's back to his old self, I like that as well. David Montgomery is going to be motivated. I like that move. Yeah, I would say it's a B minus for the Texans for me, for sure.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna actually go B plus on this. Um, the signing of, well, not signing, the trade of David Montgomery, I think is really key. Instead of depending on the patchwork that you did with current day Nick Chubb, even though I love Nick Chubb, he's not the same Nick Chubb. And also giving Joe Mixon time to actually recover from his injury, I believe that this move is definitely key to still producing the great football that the Houston Texans have been doing for the past 3-4 years. Also, like you said, Braden Smith, Reed Blankenship, Evan Brown. I really like those additions, and still re-signing the people that you needed. The Trent Brown re-signing, Sheldon Rankins re-signing, Ed Ingram. Yeah, in terms of comparing the team last year to right now after these additions, they got better. Yes, B plus for sure.
On you now, CJ. Please don't look like how you did last year. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh
Moving
man.
on. The Colts. We're gonna start with Daniel Jones because I want everybody to, when you get a chance, if you want to make more money in life, Google Brian Murphy and Andrew Kessler of Athletes First. They are the agents for Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones played good in about, we'll say, 7 to 8 games. Tore his leg in multiple places. Said no to the first deal the Colts gave him. And now got a 2-year, $88 million that can be worth up to $100 million with incentives, with $60 million guaranteed. Capitalism is a beautiful thing, ladies and gentlemen. It truly, truly is. It's not about how good you are. It's about what you can negotiate. Always remember that in life, ladies and gentlemen. Because is Daniel Jones worth the money that he's getting? Absolutely not. No. But did he negotiate it? That's all that matters. I'll move on from that. Alec Pierce got 4 years, $114 million, $84 million in guarantees. I don't know if Alec Pierce is the number one receiver, but we're about to see. They also got Laquan Treadwell. They re-signed Mo Alley Cox. They signed edge rusher Arden Key. I like that move for the value they got. Only 2 years, $20 million. They also acquired Colby Wooden in a trade where they traded Zaire Franklin. I didn't like that they traded Zaire Franklin, to be honest. Cam Taylor Britt, they signed him. Jonathan Owens also signed over there. I ain't gonna lie, them giving Daniel Jones his money gets them automatically a C minus. I don't love this all season. They overpaid Daniel Jones. I don't know what they were thinking. They could have just franchise tagged him and that'd have been that. But he's coming off of a serious injury. He's getting up there in age. I just don't understand it. I don't. But
I'm gonna
I give it a C minus. That's the best I can do for you.
definitely gonna agree with your talking points. I'm gonna give them a D plus. One, taking your shot on Daniel Jones post injury and paying him that much money. It's a lot of reaches in what they did this offseason. The Alec Pierce reach, granted, I do think that Alec Pierce is a really good player. And also,
Better
if
be
we
a number one for that money.
and also if we rewind the tape, fundraiser, did I not predict what they would do with Alec Pierce and Michael Pittman? I
don't agree with what they did at all.
I knew that was going to happen because
I don't agree with what they did at all. I don't think you give him this much money and then get rid of Michael Pittman. I don't agree with that thinking at all. Because they didn't even replace Michael Pittman, by the way. I mean, they still can in the draft, but I don't love this at all. They gave
I think Downs just now becomes more of a factor in the offense, a more consistent factor, I would say.
I mean, I would hope so. I like Downs personally. I would hope so.
Oh yeah, he's fine.
Yeah,
He's fine.
he's a good receiver, but
But yeah, I just feel like they're kind of going off vibes right now and doing whatever they can to keep Daniel Jones happy because of
listen
what
to what you just said. Keeping Daniel Jones happy.
because of the happiness and bliss that he gave them for those 7 to 8 games that he was balling.
Imagine you're in a world where you're worried about keeping Daniel Jones happy. My goodness.
Because that's the only way I can justify the Alec Pierce move and what they did to Michael Pittman.
They should have never made any move with Daniel Jones as they're thinking. He's literally he broke fibulas and things that rhyme with ibula. Multiple things. Like he broke way too many things for me to be worried about his future. I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't know. I don't love that signing. And it kind of just ruins every other signing to me, but we'll see what happens. The Jaguars, they did absolutely nothing.
F.
Absolutely nothing.
F.
They let ATN go, which that was just atrocious.
Oh.
I mean, they're talking about getting rid of Brian Thomas. I just.
And listen, let's talk about it.
And they let Devin Lloyd go, I believe, too. Oh man, this all season gets a fart. That's what this gets.
And Greg Newsome.
Fat, juicy fart.
And Greg Newsome. It's a F. And then you replace.
Actually, it's an I for incompetent. That's what it is. This is bad.
And then you replace
I don't know how
ETN.
You see what this team did last year and then have this all season. This is an incompetent all season.
Just awful off season. And then you replace ETN with Chris Rodriguez. I mean,
I didn't even want to bring that up. I just didn't even want to bring that up. Like, oh my gosh, this all season so horrible. I'm not even.
Yeah, definitely an eye for incomplete. I don't know what direction they're going in, especially after having the year.
Because I don't know how you watch that team have that success and say, "Oh, let's just not do anything." It was incompetent. I don't know.
Oh, and then also the news that they're moving Travis Hunter to be a full-time cornerback next year.
Don't like that either, but we'll say the Travis Hunter talk for the all season. Once we get a little bit farther in, we'll see what his outlook's going to be. Tennessee Titans up next. Wan'Dale Robinson, 4 years, $78 million, $38 guaranteed.
Great move.
They signed Daniel Bellinger, Cordell Volson, 1 year, $2.5 million for offense. Jermaine Johnson acquired in a trade with the Jets, edge rusher. They signed John Franklin Myers to a 3-year, $63 million deal. Love that move. They got Solomon Thomas in a trade for a 7th-round pick. High value move. They got Cordell Flott from I believe that's a Giant. Was he the Giants? Yeah, he was with the Giants.
Yep.
Coming back, 3-year.
That was their only competent corner.
Yeah, I'm about to say. I remember his name. I was like, oh yeah, he was on the Giants. That was a very good move, by the way. I think he has very high upside. Alontae Taylor, 3 years, $60 million. I like that move. High upside.
Great move.
For sure. And they signed Joshua Williams, cornerback, 2-year deal. I like the fact that they got a lot of guys that have high upside. So I'm gonna give the Titans a B. I'll give them a B plus. They got a lot of high upside guys. I like John Franklin Myers a lot. I was sad to see him go. I like the signing of Cordell Flott. He's high upside. Alontae Taylor, high upside. Wan'Dale Robinson, still high upside. I like this all season. I give it a B plus.
And the Jermaine Johnson trade.
And the Jermaine Johnson trade. I like this. B plus.
Yeah, I'm gonna go A minus. I pretty much like all the big names that they went after. The John Franklin Myers. I still can't believe you guys didn't retain him. I know that I predicted that you guys would retain him, but it just is what it is. The Giants definitely should have retained Wan'Dale Robinson after that year that he had, pretty much proving that he is the wide receiver too that they are looking for. And yeah, Alontae Taylor, that signing, I hate to see him go from the Saints, but that's what happens when you draft well. People get poached. And speaking of poaching, they poached Cordell Volson from the Bengals. I don't know what the Bengals are going to do. I just don't know what they're going to do because they're brain dead.
That's what they're going to do.
They are brain dead because he was actually one of the competent O linemen. Yeah, and Cordell Fly, NFLSU, you already know what time it is. Uh, yeah, I'm definitely giving this an A minus for everything that they've done so far. Of course, it sucks that they lost Okonkwo, Arden Key, and Tavondre Sweat, but I I
I
definitely
think they
like.
made up for those for the most part, though.
Yeah, I think they more than made up for sure. John Franklin Myers is
Very
ta-
underrated. He's very
very
underrated.
underrated,
Very
and
underrated.
now next to Jeffrey Simmons, boy,
Yeah, Jeffrey Simons is gonna eat for sure. Hopefully, once again, we get a good Cam Ward next year, and then they'll really be able to take a step. Next team, AFC. We're starting with the AFC West. Of course, we're gonna start with the Denver Broncos. Now, we did mostly absolutely nothing, which I did not like. We re-signed J.K. Dobbins, which I don't really care. We re-signed McCaughlin. I don't really care. We re-signed Little Jordan Humphrey. I don't really care. We re-signed Adam Troutman. I didn't really care. We re-signed Alex Singleton. I still didn't really care.
D minus.
But then we traded for Jalen Waddle.
Even with that, D minus.
And now it becomes automatically a B minus. Automatically. Automatically. Because we just secured our trip to the AFC Championship. So how can you not give it a B minus? I can't give it a higher grade because we did nothing else. But we secured our trip to the AFC Championship by getting Jalen Waddle. So I give it a B minus. But anything else, if it wasn't for this, I probably would have gave it an F, to be honest. But Jalen Waddle makes up for it. I don't even care what else we did. We got Jalen Waddle. We're good. Rather go ahead and give it the bad grade you're gonna give it. I already know.
Well, you made some points about Waddle, so I'm willing to increase this to a D plus.
Yeah, well, I figured
Losing John Franklin Myers is
I didn't
insane.
love that. I didn't love that. I did not love that at all. I didn't love it at all. Not at all. Especially since we didn't spend any money at all. So, but maybe once again, maybe they knew that one of these receivers was gonna be coming and they needed the money. So we'll see. We'll see. We still have the draft. We'll move on to the Chiefs. They traded for Justin Fields. They also signed Kenneth Walker III to a 3-year, $45 million deal. Re-signed Tyquan Thornton. Re-signed Travis Kelce. Brought in Tonga to a 3-year, $21 million deal. I like that move, actually. And they also signed Gilman, safety, to a 3-year, $24.75 million deal. But, I mean, we just have to be honest. The Chiefs get a D because you let McDuffie go. I don't care what you got
Not
for
only
him.
that,
You let McDuffie go.
you
You let
lose
the corner
Jalen
out.
Watson.
You let the corner on the other side of him go. You let Cook go. You didn't address anything to me that was of, like you got Kenneth Walker. I like that move, but are they going to use him all that much? Because Isaiah Pacheco was a perfectly capable running back until he got hurt. So I don't know how much.
Uh,
I don't know how much of
I
his
don't know.
offense. I like Pacheco personally.
Uh,
He ran pissed off, and I love that. But Kenneth Walker, to me, to get the most value, you need to be a running offense. So,
you can't read a hole to save his life, man.
hey, listen, because he's pissed off all the time. He sees black everywhere. I just run people over. That's all I do. I love me some Isaiah Pacheco. But Kenneth Walker, I mean, at this point, are you going to use him the way he needs to be used? I don't know. I don't know if they're going to use him. The Chiefs tend to get away from running the ball a lot. So, maybe with no Mahomes, maybe they change their offense. Who knows? But they're still very old. They let go of Thuney. They let go of the others. They let go of another lineman too. But it gets a D for me because McDuffie's not on this team anymore. Your best defensive player is gone, and I don't care what you got for him. I don't really care. So they get a D. I didn't love their all season. I'm not gonna front. And now Justin Fields is your quarterback. Miss me with that. Go ahead, Relic. You let me know what you thought of the Chiefs all season.
So I'm gonna go C minus, but I will say in terms of what they needed to address, they did. I absolutely hate that they lost Trent McDuffie and Leo Chenal, because
And let go of Watson. They didn't resign Watson either.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
and Jalen Watson going also.
You let go of both your corners and your safety. I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
Pacheco leaving, I'm actually like kind of cool with that. He was
When they
descending.
replace him with Walker, I ain't mad at that.
Yeah, definitely upgrade there. Um, Getting Tonga, I like that move.
I like that move. That was a solid move.
And then also putting a mobile quarterback in Andy Reid's hands.
It's Justin Fields is
I
a
like the Justin Fields move.
Unfortunately, it's Justin Fields though, who cannot read a field.
I like it though. I really do.
You like it more than me.
I
I don't
mean,
love it. If he can't succeed with Andy Reid, he ain't gonna succeed at all. Let's just be honest.
it's either Justin Fields really. Because it wasn't like they were gonna go after Kyler Murray or
Well, to be
Malik
honest,
Willis.
I think the Chiefs should decide if Mahomes is not gonna return this year, they might as well tank. So to me, just going with the backup would have been a better option. But that just depends. If they think Mahomes could come back week 7, 8, maybe you try to get at least into the playoffs.
Yeah, I think they're cool either way. Whether they do good with Justin Fields or tank.
Well, I don't think you trade draft capital for Justin Fields. I don't think you don't ever do that. But that's my problem with that. You traded for him. You didn't even just sign him. You traded. You gave draft capital for Justin Fields. I hate that. But either way, I give it a D. Them trading McDuffie, I just hate that. I hate that so much. That was terrible. But anyway, moving on to the Raiders, who had a very eventful off season with all the people they signed. Unfortunately, now
Man,
they have to now add Max Crosby's number to this because we addressed that already. They signed Jalen Naylor to a 3-year, $35 million deal. I thought a slight overpay, even though it doesn't seem like that. They signed Tyler Linderbaum to the highest deal for a center ever, 3 years, $81 million.
great move.
They got Pave, edge rusher, $16 million a year. Nakobe Dean, 3 years, $36 million.
Great move.
Quay Walker, 3 years, $40.5 million. Taron Johnson acquired in a trade with the Buffalo Bills. They got Eric Stokes on a 3-year, $30 million deal.
Great re-signing.
Everything to this point, I would have gave it A. But now you got to add Max Crosby not getting traded. And it gets a womp, womp, womp. I'm afraid I have some bad news. That's what this is. Because you made all these moves thinking you were going to have a lot of money. Now, Tyler Linderbaum seems like an overpay. Now, Quay Walker seems like an overpay. Now, Jalen Naylor seems like an overpay. Now, giving Nakobe Dean $20 million guaranteed seems like an overpay because Max Crosby's huge contract is now back on your books. Now all this seems like an overpay. But before all that, I would have gave it an A. So we'll leave it with that because it's not their fault that what happened with Max Crosby.
They got swindled.
Yes, they did. They got hit with the Jack Sparrow. What do you get this grade?
Oh, I'm gonna give them an A minus. Very solid. I don't think it's ever an overpay to get a top 3 player in their position. So Tyler Linderbaum, I really love that move. Regardless of whatever they paid him.
That they made, including Tyler Linderbaum. I just don't love the moves knowing you still have Max Crosby's huge, humongous contract still on the books.
Oh, that was nothing that they could have predicted.
The problem is you made these moves thinking he was gone. So I don't think they give Tyler Linderbaum that contract unless they think Max Crosby's gone. Because who's making Tyler Linderbaum the highest paid center with that huge contract still on the books? So I don't know. But
I get it, but it's not like they knew that was gonna happen.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it gets an A, but now it gets after that a womp. Because now you still got that huge contract back on the books, and you just added more huge contracts to the books. So I feel bad for the Rays. I really do. That it really set them back. But before all that happened, I gave it an A. I thought the Rays had a great all season. I like most of these moves, especially getting Quay Walker, Dean, and Pay. They're gonna have a really good pass rush. So
Yeah, their front seven looks
yeah,
pretty stout.
yeah. And that's the scary part. Now you add Crosby. You got Walker, Dean, Pay, and now you add Crosby. Now you're really scary up front.
Yeah, the Raiders' defense at times look very
But
stingy in
now you're
spots.
adding Quay Walker and N'Kobe Dean and Pay. Like now they're a little scary on that front. So we'll see how they look for sure. The Los Angeles Chargers. Trey Lance re-signed. They got Keaton Mitchell, running back. They got Cole Strange on a 2-year, $13 million deal. They signed Tyre Badaz on a 3-year, $30 million deal.
Terrible.
They re-signed the ageless wonder Khalil Mack to a 1-year, $18 million deal. Denzel Perryman re-signed, and so did Dalvin Thompson. I'm sorry, no, they signed him to a 1-year deal. A D is what I'm giving this. Nothing really stands out, and I don't know if they even really got all that much better. So I'll give it a D.
Chargers.
It's Chargers.
So I'm going to actually give them a D minus. Actually, I really want to give you a F. I really do.
It's an F-worthy thing. I'm just
for the bottom of my heart. For the bottom of my heart, this was a key offseason for them to pretty much seal up their O-line, assuming that Joe Alt and Slater come back as the All-Pro player level, All-Pro level players that they are. Just assuming that happens, but they had the opportunity to go after Tyler Lindenbaugh, who's a top 3 center in the league. And they could have gone after David Edwards, who is a top 10 guard in the league. And while still
receiver either, no receiver in sight. I don't understand it.
Oh, they're gonna go draft heavy receiver. I can already see it now.
How has that helped them so far? It hasn't.
Well, I like the McConkey, and
I like McConkey, but Quentin Johnson, get me out of there with that. He's so up and down. Give me.
But no one could have predicted Johnston would get the terrible dropsies that he does have.
I could have. I didn't love him coming out, to be honest. I ain't gonna front.
No, I mean, because the thing is, Johnston is pretty much good at everything. It's just that will he catch the ball? Because he gets open.
The most important thing for a receiver.
he gets open on all levels, every single level. You know, it's just will he catch the ball?
The most important thing for a receiver is what we're wondering he will do. That's crazy.
But I'm gonna go D minus on their grade. Just and with all the cap space, they had all the cap space to go all out. They could have sealed up this whole O line just off rip in the first day. Just seal off the whole O line.
The only reason why I'm not giving this an F is because they got McDaniel as their offensive coordinator. That's the only reason why I'm not giving it an F.
Well, I guess that counts as like an off season, stuff. It should definitely come into account.
That's the only reason why it's not getting an F. The only reason.
But but still signing Khalil Mack, I like that move. Going ahead and retaining him. But what offsets it is signing Trevor Penning. I don't know what they're thinking there, but if we let Trevor Penning go, I'm pretty sure that's a sign that no one should ever sign him. So that's just me. Losing Zion Johnson. I mean, yeah, D minus.